So today I'll be showing you a demo of gRPC request and HTTP request in Scala using Lambda functions. So let me just fire up the Chrome over here and open Lambda. So the first step here is to create a Lambda function. So uh, you need to create a function over here, specify the name, specify the runtime. Since we're using Scala, I'll be using Java 8 on Amazon Linux 1. Select the architecture and create a function. I already have some number of functions created, so let me go back and open up a function. So this is how a Lambda console looks like. So I'll be uploading a jar. So I already have a jar generated from my IntelliJ, so I'll be uploading it to the console. So this might take some time because the jar is really huge. It's like 33.6 MB. So let us wait for some time. In the meantime, I have created a S3 bucket over here. So I'll go to S3. I'll go to my bucket. So the bucket name is log service 1, and this is my input file.txt or a log file. So yeah, so this is where the log file keeps on. This is where the log file keeps getting generated from the EC2 instance, and my Lambda function will access these log files. So yeah, so the jar has been updated successfully in the Lambda function and created a function called as Lambda service over here. The next step is to specify the runtime. So for that you can edit over here and specify the runtime and the class, the package name, the class name, and the method name, which will get triggered when the Lambda gets called. Yeah. After this, we need to configure certain permissions. So to create a permission, you need to create a new role and add some AWS policies. So if I just fire up this role over here, yeah. So this is the policy which I've created, and it basically contains two services which are CloudWatch logs and S3. CloudWatch logs basically help you in reading and writing the logs generated by the Lambda function, and S3 helps you to read and write from the S3 bucket. So let us go back to the Lambda function. Okay, so the next step is to create an API gateway. For that, you need to add a trigger, select API gateway, uh, create an API, select REST API over here, add a security layer, and create an API. So this is pretty simple. Since I already have an API created, I can just show you that. Yeah, so this is my API endpoint for gRPC request, which I'll be showing you in a minute. So it's of the type REST. So yeah. So now let us go back to the IntelliJ over here, and I'll run spt run. So basically, I'm firing up the client program, which will create a gRPC request to this Lambda function, and it will return us the output with the status. So let me run this PT run. Oops, that was a timeout error. So let me run it again. Yeah. So as you see over here, it's returning true. So the timestamp which I provided is present in the log file. So as you can see, the output is true over here. So now let me tweak the input a little bit, and let me run this program again. Yeah. So this time, sorry. So this time it returned false. That means the timestamp which I provided is not present in the log file. So this is a demo of the gRPC request. So now I'll show you a demo of the HTTP request. So for that, I created a new Lambda function. So let me just show you that. Yep. Yep. So this is a new Lambda function which I created for the HTTP request, and I configured all the parameters for this Lambda function. So now let me just send a HTTP request for this Lambda function. So this is the timestamp and this is the time interval. And let me just send a HTTP request for this. Yep. So I got the results. So let us check the logs. Yep. So basically, it is returning the status true, telling that the input is present in the log file, and it is returning all the inputs in the timestamp, which is present in the string, which is accepted by the pattern. Yep. So this is my uh, Lambda function for the HTTP request. So now Let me explain the logic for this. So I'm using binary search to find to check whether the timestamp is present in the log file. So that's what is used in the gRPC Lambda function, and I'm using maps to find the strings which is accepted by the pattern. So that is done in the Lambda function for the REST API over here. Yeah. So I'm doing this just to reduce the time complexity of my program. Yeah. So yeah. I think that's it for this demo, and thank you.